Hello, everyone. For my digital literacy analysis, I chose a personal finance article that would be appropriate for a personal finance course. So let's get started. Let's see if this source is credible. We'll quickly just run through the Columbia University's checklist, and we will first address authorship. When I'm identifying the author, which I see as Michelle Singletary, I am looking for her credentials. I want to know if she's an expert in the field of finance, and then just any biological information I can find on her. So let's scroll down. Start. I thought the title was catchy. This one mistake can cost millennials millions. So let's scroll down here. I see that I can actually sign up for her personal finance newsletter. View advertisements. Let's keep going here, see if we can find author. Michelle Singletary writes the nationally syndicated personal finance column, Color of Money. Let's see if we can find out a little bit more about Michelle. Did a little bit of research here, and I found that she has her own website. Michelle is a nationally syndicated columnist for the Washington Post. So we will keep that in mind because we want to check out her publisher, Washington Post. The Color of Money, which we knew. Her column won Best in Business in 2007, so that's good. Nominated for a Pulitzer, which is good. Seems pretty credible so far. I know she writes for the Washington Post, and that is liberal. So this is her perspective, which we need to point out. There are many perspectives on finance. This is just one of those. Looks like she writes books. Written for the flagship O magazine to replace Susie Orman in personal finance. Host. She seems pretty credible so far. Has appeared on all three major televisions. Oprah Winfrey Show. Here's her awards in education. Distinguished Alumni Award from Johns Hopkins University. So far, I think she seems pretty credible. Like once again, it is her perspective, so we will go from there. Let's check out the Washington Post, her publisher, which is number 2 on the Columbia University's checklist. Washington Post is an American daily newspaper. It is the most widely circulated newspaper published in Washington, D.C., the capital. See if we can find out kind of a little bit more on them, maybe their political endorsements. Let's see. Long policy of not making endorsements for political candidates. So that's good, bipartisan. Keep reading here, I know you can't see it. However, since at least 2000, the newspaper has occasionally endorsed Republican politicians. Let's see. Barack Obama, they endorsed him. They endorsed Hillary Clinton. So they're pretty liberal. Once again, I want to make sure that my students would know that this is just one perspective. Here we go, political stance. Left-wing bias in both reporting and editorials. We'll go ahead and move on to the third, number 3 on the checklist, which is accuracy and objectivity. I would definitely want to incorporate other perspectives. I would have my students read this article just so they are aware that there are several ideas when it comes to your personal finance. I want to give them just one biased view on that. Number 4 here is timeliness. The article, I believe, was yesterday, written yesterday by Michelle. So it is extremely current. We did look at her bibliography. Last one is sponsorship, which there wasn't a link to her homepage from the Washington Post. I think I would be pretty safe on saying that they endorse her perspective and her viewpoints on personal finance. So I would, if I would use Dr. Turner's rating from 1 to 7 on credibility and reliability, I would say this is about, I would put it right in the middle, 3.5, 4. It's a good article. Author is credible. It just depends kind of on your opinion, your belief, and your perspective as a human being. Thanks, guys, for listening.